Hello, welcome to my channel. So today, we will talk about the 6 ways of how we can use our breath to heal our body and mind. For clarity, let us start with the foundation of breath. So, breath is life. It is the first thing that we do when we are born. Breathe in. And the last thing that we do when we die is breathe out. The scripture's story of creation talks about God speaking just the words and it became so. So he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. "Let there be birds, fowls on earth," and there were adult ones. But when it came to humans, he said, "Let us make man in our own image and likeness." So just like an architect, he had to design. So he got the clay from the ground, molded into like himself. So we are the image and likeness of God. So we are the masterpiece of God's creation. And then when everything was perfect in his sight, he breathed into its nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So that is the start of the breath. In other words, as long as we are breathing, the breath of life is with us. So breath is the representation of the Spirit of God in us. What happens when we die? The breath of life, which was breathed into our nostrils, will return to God who gave it, and the body will return to earth where it came from. That is why when the breath of life leaves the body, there is no more life. So that's why breath is life. In fact, another definition of death is shortness of breath. 3 to 5 minutes without breathing, we die. We are infinite spiritual beings living in a temporary human body that will soon die. So the way we breathe invigorates, regenerates, and heals the body and may cause diseases or illnesses in our body. So let's delve into the sick. We now have so many scientific evidences or studies that prove that the way we breathe can heal the body. Like asthma, it can be healed through a certain kind of breathing. Stabilizes blood pressure, calms the mind. So let's start with the number 1. Abdominal or belly or diaphragmatic breathing, which is the natural way of breathing designed by God. Look at the babies when they were born. It's from the tummy. Okay? So here, abdominal breathing or belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, this one should go down. So when you breathe in, it comes out. And when you breathe out, go in. So when little babies are lying down and they are breathing, you do not see the chest moving out. It's the tummy. It's the diaphragm. That's why it's called diaphragmatic breathing or belly breath or abdominal breathing. So why is it so important? God designed it that way. It should not be the chest. So as we grew up, our breath became shallower and shallower and shallower. And nobody corrected that because looks like everybody is doing that. Became chest breath or paradoxical breathing. It affects every cell, molecule, and atom in our entire body. Oxygenation is getting slower, lower and lower and lower, especially in our extremities. There's an interesting discovery actually that the slower we breathe, the longer we live. The turtles breathe about 2 to 4 breaths per minute, and some turtles live up to 150 years, while the dogs, the cats, breathe about 15 to 30 breaths per minute, and they live sometimes 10 to 15 years lifespan. And humans breathe the normal range of 12 to 15 per minute, and we live up to 70 to 120. It's also interesting to know that the earth has a pulse, and it's far, far, far slower. And some call it the 0 point energy. So let's talk about that in another topic. So that's the natural way of breathing, which we should maintain. Number 2 is balanced breathing. So I learned this when I joined yoga. Every 4 hours, we breathe on the left or on the right. So the right is connected to the sun, which is more active. The left is connected to the moon, which is lesser. So if I usually check it in the morning, you press this one and breathe in, and then breathe out on the other side, and you will find out if which is more blocked. The other side. If you see some blockage, at least 10 breath, it will be solved. So this is especially important when you have clogged nose. So you can declog it by breathing this balanced breathing. So number 3 is box breathing, and this was popularized by the Navy SEALs. So box breathing is 4, 4, 4, 4. So it's something like this, okay? Breathe in again. So it's box. Okay, that's the minimum. Although then you can increase. If you see, you can increase to 7. So 7, 7, 7, 7. That's why it's called box breathing. And this is so effective calming the mind. If you have problems, if something happens in your life that is not good, you do this box breathing. Right? In fact, this is really popularized there. And there's another variation actually. You breathe in 7, hold 7, breathe out about 10, 7, and then the breathing out is slower, 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 up to 12. Yeah. But you can start it with 4. So this is very, very, very effective in calming the mind. Number 4 is fire breath. It's sending oxygen to the brain, sending oxygen to the third eye, sending oxygen from down up to the upper part. Especially when you have migraine, you try this. So it's like this, okay? So it's fast, 4 breaths per minute, something like that. So this was also popularized by Wim Hof. Wim Hof is a record breaker. He climbed Mount Everest in shorts, okay? And all because of the way he breathed. When you do 30 breaths like that, and you do push up, 30 fire breath and 30 push-ups, you don't have to breathe. It activates the third eye. So, to me, I think I have not yet fully activated my third eye, but so what? I'm still on my journey to it. The 5th one is similar. It's flutter breath. It's faster than the fire breath. And this is especially to loosen phlegm. So it's like this. It's also from the tummy, but it's fast. So it's just faster. When you're tired, you stop. You try that when you have phlegm. You recommend that to those with phlegm. The 6th one is what they call central channel breathing. Some call it supine breathing. Some call it different names, but it's one and the same. There's like a river. If you are familiar with the 7 chakra or the vortex of energy inside the body, you breathe from above. And then you imagine that there's a flow of light coming down from the crown, down to the brain, the left, the right, down to the third eye, the throat, and down, 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 up to the ground, the earth. It's like a tunnel from up, down, 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 down to the earth. And then you breathe in from the core of the earth, bringing in the energy of the earth, up, also up, 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 and then up. So central channel breathing is something like this. You just imagine a white light coming from the top, and as you breathe in, imagine that is flooding the crown, third eye, and then the throat, and then down, down, down to the heart, solar plexus, down to the earth, okay? And then imagine again that is again flowing. I usually do it 7 times. Okay, as if it's flowing, the river is flowing, flying without blockages. And the reason why we stop on my third eye, and it's invigorating, regenerating the third eye, and I breathe out down to the earth. And then again, the throat, down to the earth. Okay, after 7 times, that's usually my practice. And I learned this from Dr. Sue Morter, bioenergy doctor. So, and then after the 7th one, I also breathe down from under the earth as if the energy is passing through the channel up to the root chakra, the sacral, the heart, and up, 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 and you breathe it out like a whale. It's clearing the main center of our being to make it flow, right? So that is why we breathe. I usually do it 7 times again. Where energy goes, the blood goes, moving the energy of the body. And when the energy of the body is moving freely in the body, there should be no illnesses. You know, I was privileged to attend this November 1 to 5 an energy healing summit. I didn't know we have so many modalities for healing, but every one of them, these energy healers are using breath as number 1. When you mix these breathings with meditation, with exercise, with nourishing food, positive mental diets, it's impossible to get sick. It will regenerate, rejuvenate, revitalize every cell in your body for optimum health and vitality. So that is breathing. It's the first thing to do when we do not feel good. The 6 ways that we discussed, you practice the number 1 first, because that is just returning to our natural state of breathing. You know what? I'm healthier now than 35 years back, and I'm feeling grateful. I appreciate life, and that's why I'm sharing you, in the hope that you will learn. You don't experience what I have experienced. So thank you for watching to the end. If this video resonates with you, or you learned anything at all, please comment below. Inspire other people. You know what? Service to humanity is the highest form of fulfillment. There's even one person who will benefit from this. My labor is not in vain. It's heritage time for me to share my personal experiences in the hope that someone will benefit from it. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. See you next video.